Okay, so now we will try to find out what's the relationship between fraction and decimal. Okay, so fraction, we had this lesson last semester, and I think you may have decimal last year also, and so we'll just try to see how they are related. Okay, so let's look at this box. Well, let's call this one whole box, so that is a whole, one whole, alright? Okay, so with the same size box, which is divided into 10 parts, and we just colored one part. So do you remember our lesson on fraction? What would be the fraction for this one? Okay, for that thing that was wiggling in there, the whole thing, that is one whole. And for the one in the bottom, because the one whole is divided into 10, but only one part is colored, so that is 1/10 of a whole. Okay, now together as a mixed number, it is 1 and 1/10. Right? Do you remember this part from last semester? Okay, so that's 1 and 1/10. Now, how do we change 1 and 1/10 into decimal? Okay, right? So 1, the first one is for the whole number 1, and 1/10 from Monday's lesson. 1/10, how do you write that in decimal? It's 0.1. So therefore, 1 and 1/10 is 1.1. Okay, let's try another one. Alright, so we have 3 wholes here and that fraction over there. Okay, so for the 3 wholes, we have of course 3 wholes. And for the fraction, how many colored parts? There are 7. Okay, that's 7/10. Okay, so we have 7/10 and 3. So as a mixed number, that's 3 and 7/10. Okay, so how do we change 3 and 7/10 into decimal? Okay, 3 of course is for the 3 whole, that will be 3 in the ones place, and 7 or 0.7 for the decimal. So that's 3.7. That is your decimal. Okay, so basically you write the whole number in front of the decimal and then the fraction. Alright, so so we have this example, 0.1. That's, as a review, this is 1/10. Alright, as a fraction. Alright, and if we have a decimal as 3.2, then that would be 3 as a whole and 2/10, or 3 and 2/10 as your mixed fraction. Okay, how about this one, 24.1? Okay, so 24 is your whole number and 0.1 is your decimal, so that will be 24 and 1/10. Right? How about 3.7? Whole number is 3 and fraction is 7/10. And same thing here, it's 4.2. 4 is a whole number, 2/10 is your fraction. And this one as well, 3 and 6/10. Of course, at some point you may need to simplify your fractions as well. Like on the last one, 3 and 6/10. 6/10 can be reduced into 3/5, right? The equivalent fraction lesson that we have, as well as 2/10. You can. Alright, so let's go to ordering and comparing decimals. This is something that you know very well. Like if we count the ones, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's how we count the ones. Now, how do we count the decimals? So we start with 0.1. We write 0 in front of the decimal if there is no whole number. Alright, so we started with 0. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and would it be 0.10? No, it won't be 0.10, it will be 1.0. Okay, so after 0.9, it's 1.0, because after 0.9, that means 0.9 you have 9 tenths. If you add one more tenth in it, it'll be 10/10, and 10/10 is equal to 1. That's why you start having whole number there. Alright, so this is the ordering part. Now we want to compare which one is larger than the other. Like say for example 0.1 and 0.3. Obviously, because 3 is in the more right of your number line, it is greater than. Or so we'd say 0.1 is less than 0.3. How about 0.5 and 0.2? So 0.5 would be obviously greater than 0.2, just like 5 is greater than 2. Okay, so this is just like the other the regular comparing of numbers. The bigger the number, the bigger, the larger it is compared to. Alright, so comparing, let's try this. Okay, so that is 6.3 is greater than 3.1. 1.5 and 0.5. Of course, when you compare numbers, you look at the whole number first. Whichever has a bigger whole number basically is the bigger number. Okay, how about this one? 3.2 and 3.1. Okay, see, the whole number are equal. So the next thing that you have to check is the decimal after, or the numbers after the decimal point. So therefore, since 0.2 is greater than 0.1, so therefore, oh, okay, this is wrong. That should have been greater than, I'm sorry about that. That's 3.2 is greater than 3.1. Okay, then 10.5 and 9.5, since 10 is greater than 9, so therefore that's greater than. Alright, so next one will be ordering decimals. Say we are arrange from lowest to highest value. So I have 5 numbers here, and we need to look for we need to arrange them from lowest to highest. Okay, so the first thing that you need to compare is the whole number, right? So we have the whole numbers that we have here are 1, 4, 0, 4, and 0. Okay, so the lowest one would be the 2 zeros. So between 0.3 and 0.5, which one is the smaller one? Okay, so it will be 0.3, and then the next one will be 0.5. Okay, so after the whole number 0, we start with the next whole number, which is 1. And so that will be 1.2. And then the next ones, we have 4.3 and 4.4. 4.34 is obviously bigger, so we do 3.3 first. 4.3 first, and then 4.4. Okay, so good luck with the assignment that you have, and work on it, and see you on that tomorrow. All right, bye.